I witnessed a horrible bicycle accident this week where one bicycle came down a hill super fast, looking at the phone, distracted, and hit another cyclist on the side of their bike. And this other cyclist was an elderly woman, and she got knocked over, hit her head on the pavement, and got unconscious. And I don't know if it was internal bleeding or whatever, because I'm not a doctor, but she was choking. She was delaying choking on like a combination of saliva and like blood and unconscious. And so after calling the emergency number and giving my phone to another woman nearby who also helped, I went and tried to get this woman into the side position so she could have clear airways and breathe and not choke to death. And so when I went to help her, I asked the other people around, because there were a few people around, to, hey, help me get this person to the side position. Help me literally, possibly save this person's life. And I asked, and nobody did anything. They just watched. And then I asked again, and then one person came to help. And so why I'm telling this story is that out of like 10 people who witnessed this accident, 8 of them either walked away or froze in shock and did nothing. Me and one other person actually did something useful from the very beginning. Then after that, one other person started doing something after literally being told to do something. So what this teaches us is that most people, even when someone's life is possibly on the line, they're unwilling to take any action. The people, literally 80% of people will never take any action except the bare minimum to survive. And then they will do something and take action only when somebody tells them exactly what to do. Hey, help me. Hey, do this. Your boss at work needs to tell you, do this. And only then will most people do it. So you beat 80% of people in life just by taking action. That's the lesson. So if you go to this gym one time, you beat 80% of people because you took action and they didn't. Because 80% of people will never go to the gym. The next 10 to 15% of people you beat by going to the gym and doing the correct thing. Actually exercising properly, following a program, learning about nutrition and so on. And because most people who go to the gym, they don't train properly. When you walk into the gym and you look around and some people are doing some goofy exercises that do literally nothing, right? And the rest few percentiles that are left of people on this planet, you beat by sticking to it. Because here's the thing, most people, even out of the people who go and take action, who go to the gym for example, most of them quit after a few months. They jump onto a new trendy thing and they never stick with it. And there's a perfect example with sports that literally proves that you have to stick with something for years to actually get anything exceptional out of it and not be just mediocre. And so if you think to yourself, you can't go and do football for a few months, then do ice hockey for a few months, then do, let's say, MMA, and then do golfing, and expect to become world class and be everyone else. No, you're gonna lose to the person who only does one sport and sticks with it for years, if not decades. That's how you win. And all of a sudden, everyone knows this when it comes to sports, so you know that if you want to be a professional ice hockey player or a football player or any sport that exists, you have to dedicate yourself to just that sport and you're going to have to eliminate everything else. All of a sudden, all the other sports that exist, they turn from opportunities into distractions. But people don't understand this when it comes to, for example, business or content creation or whatever. You have to stick with something, right? And that's what I'm doing. So if I look at it, I'm sticking with the gym. That's my thing. I'm gonna fucking go to the gym and get in amazing shape and in amazing physique. I'm not gonna go and do golfing on the side. I'm not gonna go and, you know what, I'm gonna try to become professional football player as well. Like, no. Like, the gym, I picked the gym, now I'm gonna stick with it. And the same with these videos. I could be making videos about philosophy, like I did before. But now I've chosen that, you know what, I'm gonna do self-improvement. I'm gonna do mindset. I'm gonna do all these things. And I'm just gonna stick with it. Boom. And all of a sudden, all these things that seem like opportunities, like, oh, I could make that type of video, I could make that type of video. Instead of it being an opportunity, it actually is a distraction. Because if you constantly jump from one thing to another, you'll never succeed. If you're in the ice cream business, and you jump to selling car wheels the next week, then your ice cream business won't ever scale and grow and dominate the market because you're not even focused on it. You're getting distracted. So many things can seem like opportunities, but in reality, they are distractions. And so if you want to beat other people, you need to not only take action. That's how you beat 80% of people, by just doing any action, literally anything. If you do one thing a day that you don't need to do, you do one thing a day that is more than just the bare minimum to survive, that's how you beat 80% of people. Then you actually do something intelligent, like go to the gym, like work on a business, or content creation, or whatever. You read a book to learn a new skill, whatever it might be. You do something intelligent instead of something random. That's how you beat the next 10 to 15%, and then you stick with it for years, and that's how you beat the rest. But most people are not willing to do that. Most people don't even take action. And out of the people who take action, most people get distracted. But you're gonna have to sacrifice. Sacrifice the distractions. And yes, it's all the obvious things, from video games and movies to alcohol. Yes. But sometimes those distractions include things that seem like opportunities, but they're actually hidden distractions. Just like we talked about, you can't switch your sport every week and expect to become world class. But sometimes those distractions include even people around you. And it's a sad and cold and harsh truth of the world that when you look around, you would want, the people around you to support you. You would want them to help you get closer to your goals. But sometimes the people around you are the biggest distractions. They're the ones who actively take away from your goals. They're the ones who come and say to you, don't do it, you're not gonna succeed. You're not special. You're wasting your time. And it feels like they're right. Because they are right for the first few days, for the first few months, for the first few years even. They are correct. And so every day, they're gonna remind you that, you know what? You didn't succeed. You're not a professional athlete yet. So you should just stop and focus on being mediocre and working on that job. Your business hasn't succeeded yet? Well, I was right. You go and work the mediocre job. And they tell that to you every day. And they're distracting you. And they're telling you, it won't go anywhere. Just come and, just come and drink with us. Let's just go hang out. Why do you have to go to the gym and be so strict with your diet? Let's go and eat something fun, junk food. But those people are distracting you from what actually matters, which is your goals. And the thing is, they feel like they're correct, and you feel like they're correct. Because at the beginning they are. But the truth is that they're wrong. Because the only thing that is right is doing what you want. Going after the best life that you can get. That is what is right. No matter if you fail, you succeed, it takes 10 years or 20 years. It doesn't matter. What is right is living the life that you want. That's what's right. And so most of these people, even though they feel like they're right, they're wrong. Because you're actually doing what you're supposed to. You're living the life that fulfills you. And you got only one life. You can't on your deathbed look around and say, you know what? I'm glad I saved my talents and my energy and my skill and my capabilities for hard work for life 2.0. That's not possible. And so you better use it all now. You better go all in now and do it. Even though other people will hate it. And it hurts to increase your standards for life, which you need to do. Talking about sacrifice, one of the things that everyone needs to sacrifice is their standards of what life can be. Because most people's standard for what life can be is so low. Like life can be, working a job 9 to 5, existing, watching movies. That's most people's standard of what life can be. But you have to sacrifice that standard. And you have to increase it. You have to say, my life can be more. And it hurts. And I can speak from experience. It fucking hurts. Having standards that my life can be more. My life can be something better than what it currently is. Having that as a standard. It hurts. Because every waking second that you are alive, you are awake, you feel the pain of not being where you could be. You feel the pain of being below your standards. But it is only by setting your standards that high and feeling the pain that then forces you to take the action to make that standard a reality. And let me tell you, it's gonna take longer than you think. And there's gonna be people who doubt you and who don't believe in you. And sometimes there's gonna be the people who you thought were gonna support you. And once again, it hurts. But let me tell you, sometimes you just have to sacrifice a lot to gain a lot. I spent Christmas alone, working. Is that what you should do? I don't know, because you have a different life to me. But most people are not willing to sacrifice Christmas and spending time with their family. Most people are not willing to sacrifice, drinking and video games and social media and all these things. And that's why they stay mediocre. They're not willing to eliminate and sacrifice the distractions in their life that are not allowing them to go and take action. And that is truly what keeps so many people mediocre. And it's sad to see. People with talent, people with skill, you look at them and you're like, you could be anything. You could be the greatest of all time. Yet, you let the distractions consume you. And so I'm telling you, eliminate all the distractions in your life. Eliminate the alcohol, eliminate the social media, eliminate the video games, eliminate the people who don't support you. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it hurts. Eliminate your standards for what life can be and then increase them. And once again, yes, it hurts. But then, once you start taking action and you stick with it, that's how you make your dreams reality. That's how you become truly exceptional. Because here's the thing, everyone has big dreams. Having big dreams does not make you exceptional. Taking action towards achieving them is what separates you from mediocrity and the average person. This is quote that I live by. A dream that you don't take action towards is the same as a dream you don't have. So go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.